The first time she saw him, he was covered in grease, arguing gently with a crying little girl over a broken toy. And somehow, in that messy, noisy auto repair shop, surrounded by the smell of oil and rusted metal, something in her perfectly controlled world cracked. Amara Siddiqui had spent her entire life being admired, but never truly seen. At 28, she was the only daughter of a billionaire industrialist. Her days were filled with board meetings, charity galas, and carefully curated appearances. Men admired her beauty, desired her wealth, and chased her status, but none of them ever really knew her. To them, she was a prize. A headline, a business opportunity, not a person, and that's exactly why she found herself standing in a place like this, far from the glass towers and luxury cars, her expensive heels awkwardly clicking against a stained concrete floor. Her car had broken down unexpectedly on a quiet road outside the city. Her driver was unavailable, her phone battery was dying, and for the first time in years, she had no backup plan. That's how she ended up at a small roadside garage with a faded sign and peeling paint. And that's where she saw him. He was crouched near a workbench, his back slightly hunched, speaking softly to a little girl who couldn't have been older than 6. "I told you, Sophia, I'll fix it," he said, holding up a broken toy car with one wheel hanging loose. "But you have to stop crying first. Mechanics don't work well with all that noise." The girl sniffled, her big teary eyes fixed on him. "You always say that, Baba. And I always fix it, don't I?" She hesitated, then nodded slowly. Amara watched, strangely captivated. The man, tall, broad-shouldered, with tired but kind eyes, carefully wiped his hands on a rag before taking the toy and examining it like it was something valuable. Not just a piece of plastic. Something that mattered. "5 minutes, he said, winking at the girl. "Promise, promise." Only then did he look up, and notice Amara standing there. For a brief moment, their eyes met, and unlike everyone else she had ever encountered, he didn't stare. He didn't look impressed, he didn't even seem curious. Instead, he simply nodded once and said, "Car trouble." That was it, no recognition, no awe, just normal. Amara felt something unfamiliar stir inside her chest. "Yes," she replied, a little unsure of herself. "It stopped working on the road." He stood up, wiping his hands again, and walked over. Popped the hood. No smile, no flirtation, no attempt to impress her. Just work. She did as he said. For the next 20 minutes, he focused entirely on the engine. His movements were confident, practiced. He didn't try to make conversation, didn't ask unnecessary questions. And yet, Amara found herself watching him. The way he frowned slightly when concentrating. The way he occasionally glanced toward the little girl, making sure she was okay. The way he treated his work with quiet pride. "Fuel line issue," he finally said. "It's not serious. Give me another 10 minutes. Amara nodded. She hesitated, then asked, "Your daughter?" He looked over at the girl, who was now sitting on a stool, swinging her legs and watching him with complete trust. "Yeah," he said simply. "Sophia, she seems very attached to you." A faint smile appeared on his face, soft, almost invisible. "She's all I've got." There was something in his voice when he said that. Something heavy, something real. Amara didn't ask more, but for the first time in a long while, she wanted to. His name was Ion. She learned that on her second visit. Because yes, she came back. Not because her car needed fixing, but because something inside her needed understanding. She told herself it was curiosity. A break from her usual world. But deep down, she knew it was more. The second time she arrived, Sophia recognized her immediately. "You're the lady with the shiny car," the girl exclaimed, running toward her. Amara laughed, a genuine, unfiltered laugh that surprised even herself. "And you're the girl with the broken toy," she replied. "It's not broken anymore," Sophia said proudly. "Baba fixed it." Of course he did. Ion looked up from under a car, slightly surprised to see her again. "Everything okay with your vehicle?" Amara hesitated. Then she did something completely out of character. "I just wanted to say thank you." He studied her for a moment, as if trying to understand her presence. Then he nodded. "You're welcome." And that was it. No attempt to extend the conversation. No hidden agenda. Amara realized then, this man wasn't trying to get anything from her. And that made her feel something she hadn't felt in years. Safe. Days turned into weeks, and somehow, without planning it, Amara became a regular at the small garage. Sometimes she brought coffee, sometimes snacks for Sophia, sometimes just herself, and slowly, she became part of their world. She learned that Ion had lost his wife 3 years ago, that he had raised Sophia alone ever since, that he worked long hours just to make ends meet. But he never complained, never played the victim, he just kept going. For Sophia, Amara, on the other hand, had everything money could buy. And yet, every time she left that garage, she felt like she was the one who was lacking something. Of course, the world didn't stay quiet forever. People started noticing. A billionaire heiress, spending time in a mechanic's shop. It became gossip, then speculation, then outrage. Her father confronted her one evening. "What exactly are you doing, Amara?" he asked, his voice sharp with disapproval. "I'm living my life," she replied calmly. "With a mechanic, with someone who treats me like a human being." Her father scoffed. "He's beneath you." Amara's eyes hardened. "No," she said quietly. "He's not." But the pressure didn't stop. Business partners whispered. Friends questioned her sanity. And Ion, he noticed the change too. The tension, the weight of her world pressing down on their simple connection. One evening, as she sat on a worn-out chair watching Sophia draw, Ion spoke. "You shouldn't come here anymore." Amara looked up, startled. "Why?" He wiped his hands slowly, avoiding her gaze. "Because this, whatever this is, it's not fair to you." "Who says that?" "The world," he replied. "Your world." She stood up, her heart pounding. "And what about my choice?" He finally looked at her. And for the first time, she saw something different in his eyes. Fear, not for himself, but for her. "I don't belong in your life, Amara," he said softly. "And I don't belong in yours." He didn't answer, and that silence hurt more than anything. That night, Amara sat alone in her massive bedroom, surrounded by luxury, and feeling completely empty. For the first time, she asked herself a question she had avoided her entire life. What is all of this worth, if I'm not happy? The answer came quietly. It wasn't worth anything. The next morning, she made a decision. Not out of rebellion, not out of impulse, but out of clarity. She went back to the garage. Ion was there, as always. Sophia was drawing, as always. But this time, everything felt different. "I'm not leaving," Amara said the moment he saw her. Ion sighed. "Amara." "No," she interrupted. "You don't get to decide what's fair for me." He frowned. "I know what people are saying," she continued. "I know what I'm risking." "Then why?" "Because for the first time in my life, I'm choosing something real." Silence filled the space between them. Then Sophia looked up. "Are you going to go away?" she asked Amara, her small voice trembling. Amara knelt beside her. "No," she said gently. "I'm not." The little girl smiled, and in that moment, something shifted. Ion saw it, not just in Sophia, but in Amara. This wasn't curiosity anymore. This wasn't temporary. This was love. Messy, complicated, unlikely, but real. It wasn't easy. Nothing about their journey was. There were struggles, judgment, moments of doubt, but there were also small, beautiful things. Like Sophia calling Amara Mama for the first time. Like Ion finally allowing himself to believe he deserved happiness again. Like Amara learning that love wasn't about status or perfection. It was about showing up. Every single day. In the end, the rich heiress didn't find love in a palace. She found it in a place filled with grease, laughter, and a little girl's unwavering trust. And the single dad mechanic. He didn't just fix cars. He fixed a heart that had never truly been seen before. Because sometimes, the greatest love stories aren't the ones that look perfect from the outside. They're the ones that dare to be real.